What can you say about yesterday? Nothing really. It's always one of those things when you go on a fantastic run of winning games that there's always a fear that you're going to drop points at some point. And historically, Celtic always seem to drop points on the run, and it's something that we always seem to do. Just glad it wasn't against that other team that we play next week, because they would just have like crazy bragging rights for that. But it was also disappointing. The performance levels were really disappointing. Another Celtic FC news: Ange Postecoglou again has been linked with the Chelsea job, and Callum McGregor has spoken about the fact that he has been linked with that job. First of all, back to the game yesterday, the Motherwell game. The manager did go on to say for the first part we controlled the game pretty well. The second half we just didn't take our chances, which is true. We missed so many chances the second half that you should be putting these chances away. There's nothing to say about it. We were in control of the game in the first half. We conceded the goal. It was a bad goal to give away. The guy turned Greg Taylor inside out. Should have the goalkeeper done better to narrow the gap a bit? It was a terrible goal, and I think it will give that other mob some encouragement for next week. They think that it can hit us on the break like that. So maybe it was the kick up the bum that we needed. Maybe it was that wee kick up the arse that we needed before next week. There's no use. It's okay going on a fantastic run, but then ultimately the game next week is the most important game between now and the end of the season. Every game is important, but we're going to win the league. There's no doubt about that. Next week's game for us is the game that you really be wanting to win in. So hopefully the slip up has happened and we can move on. The manager went on to say we have set standards, and when you set high standards, you've got to do everything to maintain and reach those standards, and that's something that we didn't do yesterday. It's unlike us to concede such a poor goal, and then it filtered through into our play after that, the Celtic manager said. The Celtic manager, Ange Postecoglou, then went on to say we were trying to chase the game a bit after that. We were pretty good, but not really doing anything. It's only natural that these guys are going to want to try and make amends and just score a goal. I thought that we lacked a bit of composure to do that. We certainly did that. Going on to the split, obviously the fixtures come out for the split tomorrow, so as soon as that comes out, I'll do a video on that, talk about the games. Should the split still be a thing? I think it's a complete pain. You go through this thing where the team in 7th position can finish on a higher points tally than the team in 6th, but because of the split, they're still finishing in 7th, which to me is a bit unfair. Especially when you see the money involved for finishing 6th and 7th. I think the split is something that is just nonsense now. I think we should be getting rid of it. I mean, I know it gives teams something to play for, but you look at Motherwell yesterday, they had nothing to play for, so they just played football. They played their game. They didn't sit back and defend as deep as what some teams do at Celtic Park. They had nothing to lose. They had absolutely nothing to lose, so they went out and played their game, and they played quite well. Next up is obviously the news that Ange Postecoglou has been named as in the running to be the next Chelsea manager, but it's believed that he's about 3rd in the running, so I wouldn't look too much into it. But on that note, Callum McGregor responds to the speculation, and it basically says we want to keep him. The Celtic captain did go on to say that he was an outside contender, but when it comes to that job like that, Postecoglou is on the brink of winning the league again, and they've already retained the League Cup. There is a possible treble on the horizon. We'll just be focusing completely on that, but what happens at the end of the season is going to happen. McGregor went on to say the players want Postecoglou to remain at Celtic Park as he responded to the Chelsea speculation. He said he's been fantastic. He's had a really good tenure, and we want to keep him. His work has been outstanding. He's a really good person. That's the type of people you want to work with. We would be delighted to keep him as long as we can. That was an interesting comment from the Celtic captain. We would like to keep him as long as we can. It does give you the fear, doesn't it? We would be delighted to keep him as long as we can. His work speaks for himself. Callum McGregor went on to say the style he plays, attacking, and the amount of goals that we score, that's only going to get people talking, and I think it's the full focus that he's wanting to get the job in hand done. And as long as we can keep him, Callum McGregor said, we will be delighted. It gives you the fear, though, going into the summer, doesn't it? I mean, every other team in Scotland would love the fact that if we did get rid of Ange Postecoglou, well, we're not going to get rid of him, you know what I mean? But it is one of those things, and every Celtic fan can say it. You know, I don't think that he will leave this summer, but you know, I don't know. Gives you the fear. Maybe it's just the hangover that's kicking in, and maybe it's just the fact that, yeah, we dropped points yesterday. It's all to do with the hangover. So on that note, let's hope Aberdeen maybe do us a little favour this afternoon. But, you know, it's Aberdeen, they probably won't. But then again, Barry Robson has got them playing a little bit better, so hopefully they can take some points off that other mob this afternoon. On that note, have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world. If there's any more breaking news, I will get it straight to you, and I'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow morning Celtic FC news, and then I'll get you the draw for the last 6 games of the season. 5 games, whatever, who cares.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to